Sometimes the winter can kill your whole business. In my case, that's exactly what happened. So basically, I was busy all summer, and then the winter shows up, and nothing happens. No work, nothing. I personally have a renovation company. I do woodwork, I do carpentry, everything that's wood related. I'm going more and more into the new house market or the renovation space, basement development. That's the area I'd like to be in. That's where I'm going into. And I had something lined up for this spring, but I had nothing lined up for October, November, December, January. Well, let's talk about how what solution I came up with, how I can actually fix this. How can I stay busy during all month in the winter and the summer? My name is Dietrich and I live in Alberta. And for those that don't know, but Canada has some winters. It can be very cold or it can be mild. This winter was actually not bad so far. We've had a couple of Chinooks. Chinooks are the winds that show up over the mountains and they warm up everything. So right now it's about 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. It's nice and warm. Some other parts of the country it's minus 20. And yeah, this winter was horrible. Actually, the last 3 winters have been horrible for my business. So I told myself this winter or this year, 2026, is the last year that I'm going to give it a try. If this doesn't work out for me, I'm closing shop and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else. So I did some researching, did some praying, did some soul searching. What can I do? What should I do? And how can I overcome this slow season? And if I look at all my numbers of my business, this like my season starts usually in May and it ends in about October. It's mostly deck work, fence repair, things like that. Couple small jobs when it comes to interior space. Deck work is nice, fence work is nice, but it's not what I'd like to build my brand with. I'd like my brand to be known as interior finishes or renovation. That's the space I'd like to get into. So in December, I sat down and said, this can't go on for another year. This is horrible. Even though I had a job lined up, but that one kept pushing month after month after month. And then I noticed that I was kind of, I was being fooled. I was being played. I didn't like that. So I came to the realization that's never going to happen. And then guess what? This week, the person calls and I don't know, it still didn't work out. So you can't be reliant on one client. You can't be reliant on one source of income if you have a business. You need to have multiple clients a year. If you only have one client, you don't really have a business. And that's something I realized, like I don't really have a business. So what can I do to actually turn this into a business? Hope this makes sense. So I sat down in December and I've always told myself if I were to start all over again, I would start a painting business. Finally, I came to the conclusion, Dietrich, you have to start all over again. Renovation is nice, but guess what? When we do renovations, we still paint at the end. We still do the finishing. We do the baseboards, the trim. We still do all that work. And at the end, we paint it. The client is happy. And what the client really sees is what makes them happy. I mean, the process is one part of making them happy, that they have a good experience. But at the end, when everything looks fine, everything looks good, they're happy. That's what the final touch is. That's what really matters. So since I'm doing that anyway, and I have contractors like for plumbing, electrical. I have a painting guy, really good guy. He knows what he's doing. I never have to show him what to do. I just have to tell him which color goes where, and he just gets it done. He shows up, gets it done, and that's it. So that's when I came to the realization I have to start like a painting division or something else where I get like painting jobs. Because the good thing is when you have smaller jobs, you're quicker in and out. Your cash flow, it helps you cash flow more and more. Now, obviously, when you're starting out, you don't have the name for it. But I have already a name, my construction business, Thiessen Construction. So I decided to start Thiessen Painting. And that's what I'm going to do. Because the overhead is way lower than it is actually with construction. If you were to see my garage, I also have another storage unit somewhere else where all the tools are, all the saws, everything that you need to set up shop. And you need to be quite busy to make that pay off. But if you have a couple decks here, a couple decks there, a couple fences, it needs to be consistent. So I started with a painting company and I have spent so far maybe I would say all my painting supplies $300. Well, for $300, you can't even buy a normal saw unless you buy it used. And if you buy it used, you have to be concerned, like, is everything straight? Is the fence straight? Maybe it was bent, that's why they sold it. Like maybe something else doesn't work. You're always concerned about that. So with a painting business, you don't need much to start. You don't need a sprayer at the beginning. Start small. And how do I know this? Because I've worked with a painter. I've worked for a painting company. I've seen the process, what you actually need. So I'll show you guys. So I've got the pole sander. I got this sander, like this head that I can attach to this one. This one's good for the corners. This is good for the walls. Prep work. It's all about prep work. So you need some paper. You need some good rollers. More paper. They want to try this now instead. And you need a good brush. Like brushes are very, very important. Don't go with the cheap brushes. Buy something that is, you know, that's affordable. So this here, only this, what you see here, was $100. I got some sanding sponges as well. So let's say $100 for this here. Then I have the paper machine where you put your tape in, and yeah, here we go. Well, sorry, $157 for this here, and I got some paper. The paper machine I bought already in my one of my previous jobs that I had. I think that machine is not cheap. It's like $100, but you just put your paper onto it, put your tape onto it, and then it makes the prep work so much easier. And trust me, it's all about prep. Whatever you do, like you spend most of the time prepping. If you do that right, you can just go painting and then everything works out for the best. Another thing that I did, I ended up buying door hangers. Because I always believe when you have time, you don't have money. When you have money, you don't have time. So at the moment, I have no money, but I have time. So I'm going to go door to door. I ordered some business cards as well. And the idea is basically knock on the door, ask them if they need any painting needs, if they have any painting needs. And if they do, then we're just going to get the contact information. In a perfect scenario, just going to look at the job and basically take all the measurements that I need, like the ceiling height, how many walls or how many feet, and then write that down and basically get a quote out as soon as possible. Like perfect scenario, like right away, but let's say within a day. And I'm focused more on the smaller things because I'm not looking to paint a whole house on the exterior. I'm not set up for exterior painting. I don't have the ladders. I don't have that, but I have the smaller ladders for interior. So I can easily work on that. Then when it comes to drywalling, mudding and taping, let's say somebody has a garage like this one that's unfinished and they want to finish this. I have a drywaller. I can hire him. He comes out, maybe does it on a weekend, gets everything done. I can come and paint and that's finished. Obviously, if you have a sprayer, it makes things so much faster, but I don't have that, and I'm not looking to buy anything till I have actually enough income to actually invest in something else. So yeah, I think under $300 you can start a painting business. Obviously, you have to look into licensing, like what do you need for your town, your city, your province, or state, depending where you're from. But you can start with that. And then if they ask, hey, do you also do bathroom renos? Yes, I do. Do you do this and that? Yes, I do bigger kitchen remodels as well. But I have a good painter. Like if they need anything painted, I can send him to the job site. He gets it done. And then at the beginning, obviously, it's going to be me, my wife, and then my painter. We're going to work together. Because for the prep work, you know, we can all prep. Everybody can prep. Painting, it's not the hardest thing. You just have to know what to do. You have to make sure that you have the right progress, the right system in place. So it's very important for that. Yeah, this is basically how I'm going to start my painting business. And today is January, I don't even know, is it the 29th, I believe? So I'm going to start this today. I'm going to make a video every week, once a week. I'm going to give you the update and the progress, how things are going. I also have a renovation job starting next Monday. That one is like a basement reno where we have to remove walls, install new walls, like move all the pipes for the plumbing and all those things. And I'm going to film some of that as well. So if you like this video, if you like this content and you want to follow me on my journey, feel free to subscribe and like this video. I'd like to grow to 100 subscribers. If you can help me out with that, maybe share it to some groups or some friends of yours that are maybe in the same boat, that are looking to grow their business or look for a different stream of income. Maybe you're just employed and you're looking for something on the side, painting is the easiest way to get into. Obviously, you have to know what to do, but yeah, it would mean a lot to me, and I would appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.